So I know I'm late to the party on a lot of the Rings of Power reaction stuff, and unfortunately, life will get in the way. So work and stuff. Just I didn't have time. If you've been watching the channel, I've got a few more videos up here lately, which I'm going to try and do more consistently. But I wanted to try and at least say something about what's going on with this, with the Rings of Power phenomenon. And I say it's a phenomenon because I think it's great that there is finally some major backlash about this stuff. Because this is what is happening right now with not the Lord of the Rings, 'cause it's not the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power stuff. It's exactly what I was feeling with the Wheel of Time stuff. Okay, now I was probably more on the side of when the Wheel of Time trailer came out. I was still hopeful, even though something didn't feel right. Does that make sense? With this, you can just see right away it doesn't feel right. And some of the things I think for me, and I'm not even going to go into the dwarf casting and the elf casting and the race swaps and all that stuff. I'm not even going to go into that because everybody else, a million people have pointed it out and better than I could ever do. I love the movies. I own product. I've read the books. I wouldn't call myself a Lord of the Rings super fan, but I do love this series, at least, for what knowledge I have of it. I am far from a well of knowledge, but I know, some. And I know this doesn't feel like, at least not the Lord of the Rings movies. This feels like, I don't know. It's off. And I think the biggest thing, besides for the obvious, some of the things that I took out of it that were a little puzzling to me was, I'm sorry, that scene right there, that arrow, it looks terrible. That arrow catch looks so dumb to me. But let's continue. I mean, to me, it's like you got all these close-ups on all these faces of people, like, and I don't know who. It's like we're supposed to know who these people are, I guess. And it's like, am I supposed to know? Like, you do a close-up on his face. I would never in a million years guess that was Elrond. And it's like they close up on him like you should know instantly. At least in my opinion, that's what they're doing. It's like, hey, look, you're gonna see a younger Elrond, and it's like, there's no way I would have guessed that. So is that what you're doing? Like, ooh, that's him, and ooh, that was Galadriel. It's like, is that what they're doing? I don't know. And then you get, I don't know if she's screaming or singing. Of course, you got the screaming and singing parts. So she's screaming or she's singing. I don't know, probably screaming or crying, knowing what Amazon does with fantasy. If I know anything from the Wheel of Time, there's going to be about 18 hours of crying, and I don't know, 2 hours of screaming at air. Well, we got one instance right here, and there's another one later. We got. Whoa, you got the float, and then here's another. He's like, this is the fight scene, and in the fight scene, you do a close up on a dude yelling. It's like, how about we show like some fighting instead of just like them all grouped up and him screaming? It's like, give me more than a 2-second cut, and then cut away. Cut away. It's like every scene is 2 seconds cut away, and then it's like, it's just, it feels like it's so chopped together because it's like, they're like, we need to get something out there. Everybody's, expecting something. It's coming out soon. We need to get something out there. And they just chopped a bunch of stuff together. And it's awkward. It doesn't get me hyped for anything. You got scenes like, the floating elf boy that just looks weird, and then you got the screaming guy in the fight again. It's like, all this reminds me of is Jon Snow yelling at the dragon in Game of Thrones, which is some of the worst stuff in Game of Thrones. But that's what this reminds me of. Am I supposed to know who that is? Like, I don't know who that is either. So it's like, you got these close-up on these characters like I'm supposed to know who they are. Maybe, I don't know. Is that what they're going for? Because I don't know. Now, again, I'm not the most, like I said, I know some stuff of Lord of the Rings, but I'm not a Tolkien scholar or historian, and I couldn't like go name you every character in every book. So I don't know. But it really felt like they just wanted to get something out there. That's what this trailer feels like. I'm not going to touch any other stuff about the trailer, like I said. But I do want to go over it. And I'm not going to go over it like scene by scene. But the superfan thing is just too crazy to not take a look at. We have to, right? I mean, it's just nuts. And we have, you got the critical drinker, neurotic, as everybody on the planet who is covering any pop culture has gone over these super fans. And I'm not going to play it, okay? And I know that there's videos out there by Disparu and all that about, how it was basically just all fake and just staged and all that, which I don't know what anybody else expects from Amazon. They did the same thing for Wheel of Time. The more and more I'm seeing about this Ring of Power stuff, I feel like the Wheel of Time was sort of like a practice for them. They sort of practiced what they thought would work with Wheel of Time, and now they're trying to perfect it with this, which is backfiring on them hugely. You can just see from the comments that are on a lot of these videos, which just bring joy to my heart. But the thing I want to point out here, and I'm not going to go where you think you're going. I think I'm not going to go where you think I might go. What I'm going to go with is, and we're focusing on this one, not the other countries, is I'm looking at these people who are super fans, right? I don't see a single article of clothing, jewelry, anything on them that says Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, anything. Even his earring could have been, I don't know, maybe for this he could have made a Ring of Power earring. I don't know, something. It's like and it's not because they're all like greatly well dressed up, like the host sort of is, but the rest of them are wearing shorts and t-shirts and mushroom sweaters. It's like, how, like, if you're super fans, why aren't you, not one of you decided to put elf ears on? Because you're, a huge fan of Tolkien's elf? Nobody wore a Lord of the Rings shirt? Nobody has a Ring of Power necklace? Nothing? No bracelets? Anything? Nothing? Foam swords? Real swords? Anything. It's crazy. And that, I didn't even have to hear these people speak to know that this was all hogwash. One, because I've already gone through this with Wheel of Time. They've done the same thing. They've got a bunch of people that think they know what they're doing. They're talking about it, and then the people that do know the series, they've taken and made them feel like they're the most important people ever, and they just show for them. So this is the same playbook. Is we're gonna give you access, and you're gonna just, say the script or whatever the hell that we want you to say. And just, I'm not gonna play this because there's nothing of value in these clips. It's just, they don't talk about anything. They talk about Galadriel a little bit, and that's it. They don't even know where the rings come from. Like, they don't know. They don't know what the rings. They don't know about the Rings of Power, and you don't even have to read the book. It's in the intro of the Fellowship of the Ring. In fact, Galadriel's talking about it. I mean, what are we doing here? So, like I said, I just wanted to throw a little bit in there. Short little video. Hopefully I can do some longer ones about this show when it starts getting closer and we start getting more news. If I don't feel like I have anything of value to say, I'm definitely not going to waste your time. So, but I did want to address it because some people have been asking me about what I thought. So I thought I'd just throw my 2 cents in there. It's a mess, and it makes me think exactly of. It doesn't. It makes me think of Wheel of Time. And maybe that's just because it's Amazon and it looks like it's not going to be good, and we got the same, yelling in the air and BS with how we've cast characters. Nothing to do with anything that the source material has to offer. Even the limited source material they have, they're of course not going to do anything with. They're going to take the names, and then that's it. And they're going to do whatever. You obviously, you saw you have Warrior Galadriel, and and it's just going to be terrible. I mean, and you can call me Black Pill if you want, but I can see with two eyes, and I was, I was hopeful for the Wheel of Time stuff because I just wanted it to be great, and it wasn't. And I am going into this series with my eyes wide open. I see what's on the screen, and the screen is showing me that this is going to be pretty much another, CW level, drama fest, with probably terrible choreography on any of the fights that we get. I mean, you see that arrow catch, it was just awkward, and I don't know how anybody sees that and doesn't think it's awkward. And it's for the amount they've paid to make this show, it's really sad they couldn't put together a riveting minute to get me sucked in. All you gotta do is watch a minute of The Fellowship or Two Towers or Return of the King, and you're ready to go. This was just boring, nothing. Close-ups on faces of people that I have no idea who they are. And get ready, strap in, because if you think this is the worst of it, guys, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. And everybody's gonna be a bigot if they don't like this, because you have to like everything that comes out, and respecting the source material and wanting stuff respected makes you an evil person, apparently. But I guess I'm evil then, because there's lots of things that I wanted to see. I'm sure that you wanted to see, and not only the Rings of Power, but Wheel of Time, and of course other stuff, that's being destroyed. And we're not going to get it. Unfortunately, when these things happen, it puts these series, Wheel of Time, if they cancel it, they may shelve it and try again in 10 years. I don't know. Maybe not. This could have been its one chance. This could have been the one chance for an actual Lord of the Rings TV series, and they made the Rings of Power instead, which has nothing to do with Lord of the Rings. So, what do you guys think? Leave a comment. Let me know. Hopefully I can keep these consistent uploads going. If you want to see more about the Rings of Power from me, let me know. And we will talk to you guys soon. All hail the Lord Dragon!